Okay, we're now going to look at bar chords and how we form them and how we create major, minor and seventh bar chords. A bar chord is basically a chord which has more depth and more control than an open chord. An open chord is, for example, an A is up here, like we've done in the past, which is quite trebly compared to the bar chord. That's an open chord. I know we haven't gone through it yet, but I'll just play an A chord now. Got a much more rounded sound, a lot more going on, a lot more depth in the sound. Now, some people choose to use open chords, and some people choose to use bar chords. Bar chords will give you a lot more sort of different edges to the A notes, the A chord notes. We're going to look at you're actually going to pick the 5th fret for where we put a bar on, which happens to be the A fret as we're talking about A. We're just going to look at 3 examples: how to do a major, how to do a minor, and how to do a 7th. Now this will come with practice, this bar chord sort of exercises and development, because it comes down to strength. It's natural hand strength on the fretboard, pinching the strings to create the sound. You know, if you start bringing your arms in, and you can, I know I've spoken to one of you that said that they brought their arm in and out, which is good. But you've got to bear in mind your shoulders are going up and down, and you're going to get tense shoulders. But when it comes down to the essence of it, it's actually hand control. So the A fret, we've got this bar to put on. Now this is the most trickiest part generally. Usually you put them all on at the same time when we've learnt them, and it goes on as one unit, and we push together and down on the fretboard. But initially we start with a bar finger. Now the problem we've got with this is, can you see we've obviously got these sort of, where our sort of links are on the other side, our sort of first knuckle, secondary knuckle, the main knuckle. We've got these creases here. Now when the string goes in between these, the groove quietens and cushions the sound of the string, and for there and for there. So what we're going to bear in mind is that we want the strings really to be offset from these positions, not in them. If they go in them, they tend to, on the whole, quieten them. So it's a bit like me talking like that. It muffles the sound completely. So just be wary of that, and you're conscious by looking at the other side of your finger. You've got the grooves that tell you sort of the main crease there, and then you know where your knuckle is. Tell you where the groove will be the other side, so you can use that as a guide to be offset from the string, so the groove is not quietening the string down. So we go back to the A fret, put our finger on, the bar finger on. Okay, we won't push that yet, we'll just look at the other elements of it. We want our 3rd finger to go to a fret gap, to miss a fret, because I'm going to be talking about the general shape, but for A, we're on the 5th fret here, it'll be on the 7th fret. Don't push on again, just let all the fingers be sort of told where they're going, and then we'll push. Little finger goes directly underneath the ring finger, the 3rd finger there, on the 4th string. And this finger goes on the 3rd string, but in the fret in between the bar and where you put your 2 fingers. Okay, can you have a good look at that? Okay, try and tilt it a little bit. Right. It's all of them, of course. I'll just put my sort of... Good. Now this will come in practice. A lot of you will have this, or you'll get the top 3. You'll get that going on. All you need to do is, if you do get that, is just to bring the bottom. So I'm just moving that slightly in, pinching. I'm not moving these 3. I'm keeping that straight as a soldier, so to speak. So you're not doing that. You're actually bringing your tip almost back on yourself, and to create an absolutely sort of taut skin here. And at the same time, I'm just bringing this bottom section underneath, and that will make it clearer. Okay, so that's our major chord. That's just that's what we call an A major, or just an A. By taking off one finger off, we're creating then a minor. So when we had A up here, we had to then completely change to do A minor. Well, the simplicity of a bar chord, when we get the strength there, is we just take a finger off. So to make A minor, we've got our normal chord on there. We just take the finger off there, the middle finger of the 4 fingers. And now we have a minor. But by doing that, you're weakening your hand. So you've then completely weakened your hand, but you've got to push a little bit harder in essence. So I'll just play the A chord and just show the contrast, the sounds. I'm going to take that finger off now. Okay, good. Put that back on again. This time we're going to create a seventh, which was the, as I called it, A with the middle finger away. By creating that, what we need to do is take our little finger off. Okay, so we sort of get this sound now. Did you hear me then? I had my finger in a crease there deliberately just to show you. Okay, there we are. That's the. Okay, so that's A seventh. Now, if I move my fingers anywhere on the fretboard, it's just a different key or different pitch. So for example, that one's A. If I move down to that one, it's G, so I could do G, G minor, G seventh. Go to the very first one, which is F, F, F minor, F seventh. Or up to where my two dots here, or the seventh fret, which is B, so B, B minor, or B seventh. And you can go all over the place with that, within the octave of, or within the frets that we've got here. But those are the basic bar chords. It comes with practice. It can be a bit difficult to get for some time, but then all of a sudden you'll get this one day, it'll become clear. My thumb, by the way, I didn't talk about that, is directly behind my bar finger. Sometimes you might want to move it just on the bar, on that sort of fret there, in between this bar finger and this first finger, second finger rather. The reason why is because the greater element of strength is going to be required for your bar finger. So that's why that's supported probably nearer to the bar finger than other fingers. So that's the bar fingers covered. There's other bar chords, but those are the basic ones I want to look at just for now.